Welcome back. Nigeria still bears the burden of having some of the worst indices in areas of infant mortality, number of children out of school, girl-child education, and other sustainable development goals. The country representative of the United Nations Children Fund, Mohammed Fall, explains this during a courtesy visit to the government house in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Identifying the state as one that is making commendable, steady progress in achieving sustainable development goals, Governor Wike expects more to be done and gave marching orders to all relevant agencies in that regard.
Nigeria carry close to 20% of the number of children severely and acutely malnourished. Nigeria carry over 10% of the stunted children of the world. As UNICEF and as United Nations, we always say that if Nigeria doesn't make the SDG, the world, and probably not sub-Saharan Africa, will not make the SDG. You talk to River State and look at child-related issues. You are struck by the steady and the progress and the outstanding performance that is made in the state.
Yes, indeed. Nigeria is very significant to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals as it relates to UNICEF. We talk about sanitation, talk about education, talk about infant mortality, talk about immunization and the rest of it. I can assure you that everything will be done to really improve on this. Partner with you, even the child education and the rest. We shouldn't be talking about 80% by now. We should talk about going beyond 80% of access to education.
Yes, on Wike, Governor River State. The federal government has been criticized for low budgetary allocation to tertiary education, calling for an improvement in order to change the fortunes of the sector. The member House of Representatives representing education, Patigi and Moro constituencies raised this issue during plenary. He says while funding of education is not the sole responsibility of government, it's wrong for politicians to earn more money than professors.
Government does not have and will never have the required money to fund education properly. The standard by the United Nations is 24% of our resources. National budget is what should go into education, and we are putting a paltry 400 billion out of 7 trillion. That tells you it's an abysmal amount of resources being put to the sector. To improve it, no university in Nigeria should have less than 5 billion naira to properly fund it, to train the teachers, because a teacher must constantly be trained and retrained. And the infrastructure on our campuses must constantly be expanded in line with modern tools and modern best practices. This is what is lacking.
Finally on the program today, traders in Akwa Ibom State under the aegis of Akwa Ibom Traders Association have endorsed Governor Udom Emmanuel for a second term in office. Thousands suspended their normal businesses to host the governor at the popular Itam Market, the largest in Uyo, the state capital. The traders say the governor has done more than enough to deserve a second term in office. And that's where we call it a day for this edition of News Across Nigeria, where we tell you what's happening across the country. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Have a great weekend.